Good. We're excited. Having a great time. It's been a crazy week, and dude, I'm excited to talk about the Artful Diddy. I'm excited. Brandino, how about you, man?
Yeah, a lot going on. So we got the Artful Diddy, of course, doing his thing. We got the mating going on in Zed Run, so more other stuff to do in the game. But just happy to be back. Like, there's a lot of active users right now in Zed. But I'm glad to talk about the Artful Diddy tonight.
Mike, that isn't mine. There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. Thank you, Zermus, for calling that out. So yes, we are here, episode 2. I'm excited to talk about this horse too. I raced it soon after we finished episode 1, and I was messaging both of you on Discord the highs and the lows that we experienced.
It was tough.
Without going into too much detail, like what I don't know. Are you optimistic? Are you unsure? Like I know you're both excited, just like I am. But like, are you? We don't know how this horse is going to perform, and I guess after week 1, I don't know if we still know how this horse is going to perform.
Honestly, I've been looking at the placements. I mean, I think it's a U, maybe. It has some U high variance, the decent variance roll, decent base ability, but really confusing, honestly. Distance pref is up in the air, but I think it's maybe long. I don't know, MJ. Like this is really interesting. This is a really interesting horse.
Brandino, any
Brendan, what do you
thoughts?
think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely had some ups and downs just talking that. I remember one race I was watching, I got super hyped. The one that he actually won, I got super hype about him. But I have no clue where this horse is going. This is kind of where you got to test. This is one of those horses where you really got to use the stats and test a lot of different distances. You
Y-
feel me?
yeah. So we'll talk about that performance right now. So just actually we'll start with the strategy first. So Griffin was 2200. We got Flames. We talked about why you would race in episode 1, why you would race long distance versus short distance versus middle. And kind of came up with the thought of, hey, let's race 1,000. Let's go the opposite end of the spectrum because we got a middle finish in Flames in our Griffin at 2,200. And so we put the horse in at 1,000, $2.50 race. All the races were paid. And guess what? We got Flames. And I believe we also did 2,000, 1,800. We got Flames in both of those races as well. So luckily in week 1, we are able to hit all of the distances we wanted to. Not necessarily in the same order, just due to what was available. And I'll admit, kind of in my race selection, I wasn't super selective. More of just kind of what's available. We want to know this horse, truly. Not everyone's going to have the time, the patience to be extremely selective with their distances. So I just kind of went for it. So 1,018, 2,026, 24, and 26. So how did that end up for us? Well, Bradino, you kind of hit it out that we got to win. We hit 7 races. We got 1 first place, 1 second place, no thirds. So that's 2 in the money. That's 28%. Overall breakdowns first through third, 28.5, 4 through 8, 42, almost 43, and then 28.5, 9 through 12. Average position is 5.9, so pretty much smack dab in the middle. We got Flames in 57% of races. Our median and average speed are very close. We don't have many races, and that's, again, kind of aligns with being smack dab in the middle. However, we are profitable. So that's a huge win. Brandino, starting with you, and we'll pass it on to D'Artagnan as well. What are targets, not necessarily for this horse, but targets in general that you like to see for a horse as a metric of success? So are you looking for show rate? Are you looking for win rate? And do you have like a rule of thumb number, or is it different for every horse?
Yeah, so I mean, it really depends on the type of horse I'm trying to breed. So, like last show, I kind of said sometimes you want like a really good breeder, or you like something that you can continue to breed. And like when I'm breeding, most of the time, If I have a horse that's under Z10, I really want a breeder out of it. So I'm looking for base ability. I'm looking for like a lot of flames specifically, and a lot of flames specifically, maybe at the 1600 uh, can indicate some bit of base ability if it can go all the way up to class, say 3, and keep flaming, maybe even keep winning.
Hmm.
Uh, but my mentality definitely changes when I see variants come into play. So, like the Artful Diddy had some variants come into play. So, maybe this horse is a great racer. So, that's kind of how the mentality I go at. It's like I start off with type of horse I'm trying to breed. I say, hey, is it flaming? Is it going to be a breeder maybe in the future? If not, is it going to be a racer? So that's the kind of the steps I take when I'm breeding.
I love it. I love it. What about you, D'Artagnan? What do you look for as far as horse performance, just kind of in general? Are there certain numbers? Do you go breeding first, racing first? What does that look like?
Okay, so in terms of breeding, uh, let's just go with racing. I mean, I look for performance, and so I look at like first and second, and it kind of gives me a bit of a mindset of their variance roles. Like we can see a couple first and seconds. That's really decent, and then you get some 11ths, and it's just similar distance. So that kind of tells me that it's a high variance horse. I don't know how often it will roll that kind of variance. That's what I like to test out. But in terms of like the flames, I really want to see those flames across mid to long distance, showing some distance preference on top of its with its base ability instead of just straight base ability. And I think that with its mid distance base ability, it's a little promising to say it's a C4, something like that. But I kind of look at more of the flames across all.
Hmm.
And I think that this is a very intriguing horse when it comes to looking at it where it flames and how it performs with its flames.
Yeah,
So definitely
absolutely.
interesting.
I love to see, like a 30% show rate. I think that's like a solid kind of benchmark. Eric Wong did an article on it that if you can hit that, depending on how you budget out your races, you can be somewhat profitable to an extent, or at least come close to profitability at the very least. So that's kind of a benchmark that I look at. So if we look at the actual performance right now, again, when evaluating horses, and of course it does a refresh, um, 2 seconds and we'll pop right back up. The big thing is the race experience. This horse is still unproven basically everywhere because we were trying so many different distance funnels, so many different distances, and really just wanted to see where and how it performs. So as you can see here, it is unproven everywhere. We do have profitability though at 2 distances. So it's 24 and 26. Ironically, because of my lack of patience, and also I see this very frequently, so kind of like trying to simulate what actual racers might or stable owners might do. The 24 and 26 both had first through third finishes and $5 entry fees instead of $2.50. So that really bumped up our profitability and our performance there. Speed right now is tracking as fast for 24. Standard deviations, I think we really need a few more races. I mean, with speed as well, as far as what that would look like. But again, only one race. So, and that was in class 5. We are currently in class 4. If we look down here at our triangles, see 18 was kind of slow, 2000 was kind of spot on, 24 here's our win, was in front, and then we have a class 5 paid and a class 4 paid at 26, with the class 5 paid doing well, and the class 4 paid we did not do so hot. So as far as strategy going into week 2, what are your thoughts? D'Artagnan, starting with you, how do you want to race this horse? What do you want to try and do this week?
So I'm gonna take a weird approach because the flames and the placements don't make sense with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with more 16-18. I see this as a high variance horse. I would go distance preference list, even though you can see that 2600 meter it took 11th and it took I took a second and a 26. So that really tells me that it has some decent variance. Took a first and a 24 $5, but no flames, right? So I mean, it may have some distance pref, but I think that's mostly just due to high variance. So I'm going to go and hone in on the mid distance, where horses tend to not have as much distance preference, and they can more depend on their variance and their base ability plus variance. And so if it looks like it has some decent flame. So I'm going to go like, hey, let's throw the distance preference out. Let's go straight with the variance roll and see if this can win or, be a winning horse 1 out of 4 times, place 1 out of 5 times, type thing, and then D rank 3 times. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with it.
Brandino, what are your thoughts? Do you agree, disagree? Would you try something different?
Yeah, I think that's the same approach that I'm going. I think the 16 will be good to test right out just to see if we do have that variance. Maybe test it 2 or 3 times just to see if we finally start getting to the edges of it, because it's 18 didn't prove it. Well, it's 18 got a 10th place, and that was kind of the
with flames.
Worst end, but
yeah.
But I feel like the 1600 can actually be very different than the 1800 in general. So I think 1600 first.
Okay, and so we haven't. A few things I want to point out about the strategy that both of you kind of agreeing on. I like it. I like it a lot. And when you look at this chart right now, it doesn't necessarily make sense at first glance to hit either of those distances. So, I mean, it says, okay, well, you're right leaning with the 10th finish, was run very slow and tight. So if you look at this and not profitable, you're like, oh man, no, garbage distance, going to trash this, not worth it. But again, going back to that, I want to stress this first column, unproven. It got flames. It could be variance. Let's take out. Sorry, let's focus on base ability. Let's take out distance preference. There still could be potential here, and we haven't even done 16 yet. So I agree, and I love the direction that both of you want to take with this. I think that's exciting. I think that's kind of a we'll call it like a 300 level strategy. Not just going for, hey, where's my profit? Where's my performance? You want to truly test this horse out across different funnels, different places. You really want to figure out where and how this horse will perform. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to update the tracker for strategy for week 2. So we're going to do target probably about the same amount of races. We got the holidays coming up, but target 1600 and 1800 is our distances, and see how things play out. I'm going to try and be a little bit more selective with the race selection as far as both entry fee and difficulty, and like trying to find try to be a little bit more patient with things this week, and not just automatically jumping in every race. Maybe it'll work out that way, maybe it won't. But that's kind of how I'm thinking of going. It'll be interesting with all these horses now running in the maiden, how that could affect the Artful Diddy's performance. Either of you have horses in the maiden?
Yes, but did I prepare for the maiden? No. I have a Z14, I believe, that is from a really proven dad. And I kind of went off of the blood tool when making the horse, and the dad has a pretty insane blood score, and I think my female is a decent class 3 racer, and so I think her blood score could actually be up a little higher, but I raced her so badly, her performance was pretty bad, so I think the score itself wasn't the best, and I kind of bred it with some real big donkeys, so I really think that horse is going to perform the way I think it might, and excited. I only got one horse, but I am racing Bot Lady's horses.
Nice.
Bot Lady's Brandino is currently the best one I have. Not the worst track record. And as a second, so excited. And I got another horse I'm racing for who took 11th and 1,000. So I'm gonna hit that long distance now and see if it has that preference. So really excited about those two horses.
No flames in that 11th?
Oh no. No flames.
Yeah, and I'm over here. So I have two horses that I bred for this specifically, Z14 and I think like around a Z18. So not going too hard, as well as I'm jockeying for Bot Lady as well. I'm
Nice.
not racing anything today. I think the strategy racing like in the next couple hours you're gonna be hitting those big hitters. So you're gonna be hitting the people that have 25 horses that they just printed for this to get the maiden money. So the Alhabrans of the world, the Dan Chans of the world, like you can barely even get in a race right now. So I would maybe like slow down on the racing as a strategy for the maiden. Maybe do it at a less popular time,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
What any picks on who you think will win the maiden? As far as stable owners go.
Ooh, I do have one. I do have one. Brendan, you first though. I don't get to go first.
Yeah, I'll go with Dan Chen. So Dan Chen performs very well at the 16s and 1800 meters, and he's very good base ability breeder. And like when you see from the other tournaments, like the Fibonacci's and stuff, the horse that performs kind of the middle, so they're probably going to run them at multiple
Oh,
distances.
I got to stop you here. We've got a special guest, Brett Smith, 69, dropping corgis in chat.
Yo!
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The
We need a
beast is
siren
here,
to play
bro.
every time the corgis come in.
Dude, I love it. I love Brett Smith, man. I love him just dropping all the corgis in there.
Sorry, Brentino, didn't mean to cut you off there, but that was a very big moment for the stream tonight.
That is true. I want it to be a big moment for our stream as well.
Well, let me cut you off again. When do you guys have anything big planned coming up? When is your next stream? Any like new tweets coming out, anything like that?
Yes. I actually am finishing the tweet right now because
Ooh.
it's been a pretty crazy day. But the tweet is going to be live in approximately now. The tweet is live, everybody.
I'll throw it up.
Please take a look at it.
So
it's our friends Silver Knight PCs. They're doing a giveaway. It's going to be on our stream tomorrow on the Snow Show. We'll be doing the giveaway, and I am really excited.
So the Snow Show. Let me throw this tweet up here for everyone to see. So I like the holiday theme. Smoke Show is now the Snow Show. So Silver Knight PCs got us started with our stream equipment, and they're doing an insane giveaway. Like, retweet, tag 2 friends, and follow Silver Knight PCs and Metaverse Gaming to qualify. Giveaway will be live on our Snow Show stream 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, December 22nd. And then you've got that was 1 out of 2. Is there a second tweet coming in there?
Boom. Just hit it.
Just hit it? All right, let's refresh this bad boy.
Just hit it. Refresh that bad boy. So you're looking at some really sweet stuff, everybody. To just put it into context, these are an RGB optical mechanical keyboard and an X20 wireless gaming mouse to one lucky winner. So, I mean, that package is a nice $200, $250 right now. As a total package that we'll be giving away courtesy of our boys over at Silver Knight PCs. I'd love if we take a little look at these things, MJ.
Absolutely.
Tell me what you think.
Pulling it up right now. And to be clear, you did specify in your second tweet that you must be on stream in order to win. So you must absolutely be present. So let's take a look at this Z20 official mechanical game keyboard. I love me some mechanical keys. I love the RGB. You got a full RGB there, and that mouse looks sick as hell. Looks pretty ergonomic. Looks small. Looks like it fit in my hand pretty well. I like it. Let's see what else we got on here. Okay, so we got a close up. So EVGA made. Like, that's my graphics card is EVGA. Like, that's legit. That is solid. That is awesome.
So I'm going to tell you this right now. Our mothership, which is over there, we're not using it right now. We use it for our big streams usually. For the solos, we just go with a laptop. But our mothership was with a 3080.
Oh. It looks like maybe you should have been using the mothership tonight. We got a slight pause. I think we're catching up to you there, D'Artagnan. I think you're you're back now or close to back now?
Am I back?
You're
Am I
back.
back?
All
Or
right,
am
let's
I...
talk about that mothership and that 3080.
Yeah, so the mothership that we have is a 3080 built by them, custom build, runs like so smooth. They just upgraded our RAM, actually, our RAM sticks, so that we could be running even better capacity. These guys hooked us up for our stream when we first started, and we're like, hey guys, like you guys, your streaming is kind of like dog shit. So
Oh shit! Pony plug. Thank you, Pony plug. Let's go.
Yo, let's drop the giveaway in the chat skis. Let's drop the giveaway again in the chat.
Absolutely. Let's throw this in. Mad About MMA, thank you so much for the follow. All right, so tomorrow, right now, throwing it in chat. Pony plug, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate that. Roy Rager Boss Lady, thank you so much for the follow. So, for those of you that don't know or are new to this show, we got some new people in chat tonight. This is Zero to Hero. Patty Cakes, thank you so much. Usually on Monday nights, we had a slight delay, had to be on Tuesday night tonight. So again, Pony Plug, thank you. Myself, MJ Gaming, and we have Brendino and D'Artagnan of Metaverse Gaming here. Metaverse Gaming just dropped a tweet. They are partnering with Silver Knight PCs in giving away an awesome RGB mechanical keyboard as well as an incredible mouse tomorrow on their Snow Show, formerly the Smoke Show. So through that link again in chat, Brett Smith is dropping the corgis. Brett Smith is hyped.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hyped the corgi, bro. He messed up one of his corgis.
Oh no, corgi derp. Corgi derp. Derped on the corgis.
Type something else.
Brett Smith doesn't type on anything but corgis, so that's the first time I've seen any text from Brett Smith. Oh, okay, all good. Made up for it there. So yeah, check out this link. You guys were just talking about it. We're going to pull up the pictures here so you can see them a little more clearly. Tell us more about this partnership and what's going on. And you have to be on stream in order to win this. Like, retweet, and tag 2 friends. And you must follow Silver Knight and Metaverse Game.
Yeah, so this is one of my friends from high school, man. Good friend of mine. Huge computer company. He does custom builds. I'm going to do a little wink out there. Make sure that this giveaway goes well, everybody, because I'm telling you, his company's amazing. His custom build PCs are amazing. He built our mothership that we usually run our normal stream now on the last 2 streams. As you can see, we have had no more stream drops. Our last 2-3 streams have been very crisp. He got us a 3080, a custom build PC. It's called the Mothership. It's amazing. So we're giving away this mechanical keyboard and mouse. Now, here's something really cool that no one knows.
Ooh.
This mechanical keyboard and mouse, so not the mouse, but the keyboard, is going to be engraved as a 1-of-1 with Metaverse Gaming on the back of it and our logo.
No way.
I swear.
That is sick.
I'm telling you.
That is sick.
It's going to be engraved for everybody as a 1-on-1 Metaverse Gaming keyboard. They started us off, so I went to him to get, my graphics card and my custom build going on, and he hooked us up because he was like, dude, your streams kind of run like dog water, and we need it to be crisper. So he's a good friend of mine. Give him a follow. So how you get into this, it's a like, retweet of the post, tag 2 of your buddies, and follow Silver Knight PCs and us to qualify. We'll be giving away live on our Snow Show, 9 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. And our Snow Show is our smoke show. If you don't know about this, we race classes 3 to 5, and we're actually going to be building out a tournament for January with some really big prize pools. And like I said, we want to have some sponsors coming in with some really nice giveaways, and we have a lot coming to y'all. We're really excited, and we want to have some fun, drink some eggnog, get turned tomorrow. So please be on the show. MJ, what do you think, man? You like it? You gonna try to get in this?
Yeah, you know what? I'm about to. I mean, I need a new graphics card. Period. I need a new computer. So we'll see what happens come after tax time, and I'll be looking to throw down on this. Might have to hit up Silver Knight PCs, but I'm definitely gonna try and get in tomorrow. I'll be around. I'll be around.
You've got to see. We did a little sneak peek of one of the graphics cards they have. Yesterday they have the Halo special edition. I posted that as a little preview of some of the cool things in their shop that they got, and then this is the first giveaway that they're like, hey, we're hooking the people up. Like, I'm just saying, could they customly design your Bored Ape on the side of your computer? Yes. Can they
Yeah,
engrave
maybe.
some? They can do some sick ass builds. They have a World of Warcraft build that I saw. They do custom builds for like celebrities and streamers. Huge company, just absolute A+ material, and they're the homies. They're the homies.
I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna check them out for sure. I'm gonna start building out my wish list.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just saying, if we wanted one giveaway to go really, really well,
we want this one to go really,
this
really
one is the
well.
one I like
This-
really well. This would be the one. I promise. Like, there's maybe more. I don't know. Maybe more stuff.
I'll tell you this: they sell out of their graphics cards. I mean, like literally, dude. I had to wait, and I'm one of his closest friends. I had to wait to get a graphics card. I was like, bro, I was like, you keep selling out, and he's like, yeah, dude. He has his company is like, I think he's the number one computer company in North Carolina.
Wow.
They're insane. Just because of the products that they produce, custom builds, and just they have great pricing, and they don't do like that. With a graphics card drops for $1,200, they don't go around and sell it for $2,000. They sell it at a 10% markup compared to regular market, which is like a 60% markup sometimes to 50%.
Oh my god, the graphics card market is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Bro.
I get these deals and it's like, hey, we just got 3080s in stock. Okay, and it's double, triple the price. Like, it's insane. Absolutely insane. So that's nice to hear that they don't do that. Sounds like it's pretty fair pricing. That's awesome. That's huge.
Oh yeah. So everybody hit that like, hit that retweet, tag 2 of your friends, let them know about it. Come on the stream. Part of this is we're trying to onboard, Metaverse games like Zed Run. We had a long talk today with the owner of Silver Knight PCs, and he loves games. He started building custom rigs for his World of Warcraft guild, and he was like, dude, like Metaverse games is a thing. And I was like, yeah, bro, like you be watching our stream. I'm like, it's huge. Gaming in the Metaverse is going to be huge.
Oh yeah.
And so he was like, dude, say less. He's like, say less. What do you need? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, keyboard and a mouse. Got you right now. And I was like, all right, let's do this giveaway. Let's get this thing going. So super excited, man, to see where this goes.
Bro, Reed has a good question. Can he make smoke come out of your rig, bro?
Whoa.
I mean,
The real smoke show. I don't know about you guys, but it might come out of mine soon. Just because it's so old.
Some beers on it. Like, just
yeah.
Then I'm sure it will start smoking, right?
Yo, I want to show you guys something. So I'm traveling. So my buddy of Silver Knight PCs, he got me this PC to travel with. I just want to show everybody what it looks like. I'll be right back, but you guys take over the mic.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So yeah, go ahead. Here's the link to Silver Knight PCs. Give them a follow. Check out their site. Currently have 2,000 followers. Very, very cool. Based out of North Carolina. Looks like here's the team EVGA. Sweet. Yeah, and I believe it said the keyboard was linear switches, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm entering this myself, bro, because I need my whole setup to be upgraded.
Look at this.
What do we have there,
Look
D'Artagnan?
at this.
Wow, what is that? Is that laser engraved? Is that the top of your
Yeah.
laptop?
This is aluminum.
Wow.
This is aluminum. So this is a limited edition MSI.
I love MSI.
There's 250 made, I believe. Like he was telling me the price point was like 4K. Absolutely insane. NVIDIA RTX. So you can see the graphics card is NVIDIA. I don't want to turn it on because I didn't charge it. I didn't prepare for this, but absolutely insane. Has a 1080p inside of it. This is what I'll be using the stream when I go back home. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, you need to borrow a laptop for a little bit. You want to use this? And I was like, yeah, dude.
Ooh, jeez.
Look at this thing.
That's incredible. Look
Insane.
at that detail.
Oh, dude, yeah, look at this. I mean, like, it is an insane laptop, dude. I mean, it's top of the line. It's engraved. It's in aluminum. He gets these type of items, I wouldn't say as often, but he definitely gets these in store, in stock. He gets access to the best of the best drops that are, limited edition. He had the Gundam computer that they made. They made like 400 or 500 of them of the Gundams. And he got that in stock. I might be wrong on the number amount. And then he got that new Halo he got the new Halo 6900.
That
Just insane
sick.
graphics card.
That looks sick.
Insane. So I mean, they do custom builds for people. So that was one of his cool little custom builds that he's doing. He's doing a Halo Master Chief build,
Oh,
and
damn.
he's big, man. He's. I showed him Zed Run.
Let's
And he
go.
was
Let's
like,
get him in.
man. I know. I was like, bro, I got him a horse, but it's a donk, so I gotta wait to get him another horse.
That's not a good look. Not a good look. He hooks you up with all this to give him a dunk.
Yeah, I gave him a donk as a trade off. So we're already at 20 retweets on that. So like I said, on our snow show tomorrow, we'll be doing the giveaway. So make that thing go viral, everybody. Tag your friends, homies, have them retweet. Follow Silver Knight PCs, best computer company I think on the East Coast, if not America. And I might be biased.
Let's go.
But it's huge.
Definitely give him a follow. Definitely check it out, everyone.
My mom. Bro, Reed always tags himself in every single giveaway, bro. I don't know if we can count Reed. He just tags himself, bro. It's just like Reed like 5 times.
All right, so reset the tweet in there. Super excited about this. Tune in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna go down, the snow show. Super, super excited. It's going to be a blast. It's okay, Reed. We're all your friends. We love you, Reed. Bojack, sorry, Twitter's angry at you. So circling back to Artful Diddy, week 1, we ran sprints, we ran like 1 mid distance, and we ran some marathon distances. We got a first and a second, both at long distance, and $5 entries. Currently in class 4, currently sitting at 14% win rate, just under 29% show rate. And as far as performance goes, we're going to try, and of course it hits the refresh again. We are going to try 16 and 1800 in that order. Class 4, trying to see how this horse is going to run. We've got some flames in a 10th at an 1800. But the big thing is that this horse is still unproven at all these distances, so we need to race it out more. Any closing words from either of you about Artful Diddy? And if anyone else would like a horse eval, throw the horse name in chat, and we will happily do that for you. Brandino, let's start with you. Anything to close on? Are you looking forward to this week? Are you scared? We talked a little bit about how the maiden could affect things potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a little bit afraid. There's going to be beasts on the track. I promise you. I think a lot of them will be sticking to free races in order to boost that kind of win rate to make sure they get into the mating tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as long as we stay in like the dollar amount race, I think we should be pretty good, to be honest. But I'm excited, definitely. And I'm excited for the mating as well.
What about you, Brandino? Or sorry, D'Artagnan.
Man, I'm stoked. First off, the Artful Diddy, I think that with that first and that second in the long distance, I think it lacks the distance pref there, lacking a flame. The base ability, flaming in the mid distance, kind of lends me that we should be pushing at 16, 1800 and go lack of distance pref. Let's just go straight variance roll. Let's see how that variance roll is. We can get a really nice variance roll, and I'm excited for that. If it's one of those, 1/5 of the time it places, 1/5 of the time it wins, and the other 3 it's either a mid and 2D ranks or 3D ranks. I mean, that's the kind of roll you're looking for. 20% win, 20% place, and then 60% D rank. That then you can do those forcible D ranks, which I don't know if it has one because I looked at the 1,000, man, and that was not a convincing D rank spot. And so I think that with this high variance roll, it might go straight up with wins. Or it could be, it could be one of those like goes on losing streaks. And then you can do that. Like when it gets its first place, you can start going 5 and 10s and try to get that variance win at, $10. So that'll pay off the other races quite easily. And that's what I'm really looking for is how good is that variance roll? And the maiden I'm excited for. Our snow show tomorrow is gonna have some Griffies in there. We're running some bot lady horses, so pretty excited for that too. And come play on the snow show. And we're building up a pretty large tournament come January. and it's going to be all live. We're building the leaderboard out. I think if you saw last week, we had their first attempts at a leaderboard. And I think it went a lot better.
Yeah, I liked that.
We will be improving that. So we're just, it's gonna be a live tournament. This is a lot harder than, running this tournament. It's a lot harder and a lot harder to make it more fair for anybody to win and place and have access to prizes and towards the grand finals that we're gonna have. So we have to make sure that it's fair, and we're just tweaking our system over these next 2 weeks before we launch it. So we're real close, I think, and I'm really stoked to see what the future has in hold for us.
Incredible. I can't wait. We've got some questions from chat that I'd like to address before we sign off. You guys still got some time tonight?
Oh, we got time. We're working on our business plan after this, so we got time. We'll be up all night.
Let's go. All right, so first one that came in is from Asmathic. Anyone got a NASCAR Zed Pass? Thinking of getting one, but 400-ish seems really steep. So I have one. I got it when it was more expensive. The only thing we know about NASCAR Zed Pass is that you got a skin, which I believe those already dropped, and then they did already drop, and then it's been hinted at other things, but we don't know what yet. So do both of you have them? Do you think there's value at that? Not financial advice, because it's purely speculation. Any thoughts on the Zed Pass?
Brian, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'll definitely take it. So he said $400. I think it's actually at an all-time low, like close to 0.14, 0.15-ish. And they have not dropped any utility for it, of course. With that being said, it's just around the corner. I wouldn't be surprised to see the roadmap for maybe like the Zed Run to come out very, very soon. And I promise you that the Zed Pass is going to be on there somewhere. No matter what, the utility is probably going to be in this very soon. So I don't think it's a bad time. I think it's probably like one of the better times to actually pick one up. And I mean, what have they done in the future with other companies? What have they done with Atari, Genesis horse drops before? They've done it with Stella Artois. So maybe there's a Genesis horse drop coming. You never know. So I definitely think it has a lot of utility. That's why it stayed at 0.14. But bro, if they drop anything huge, that price is skyrocketing. So I think it's a good time to get it.
Your thoughts, D'Artagnan?
Yeah, so I bought the 6th ever sold pass.
No way.
And we were there in Sean's Discord. Everyone was screaming, and I was like, adjust the gas fee. I was like, that's how you get them. And so we were doing some manipulation on gas fees and doing tipping to jump the line to buy these, and it was really exciting. But I've been holding on to mine ever since I bought it, and I would say that I'm pretty bullish on the utility of it. I think that we saw these skins drop. But, when it comes to Zed expanding and Zed doing more marketing and more exclusive deals and whatever else, I think they're going to be rewarding the people that have these passes. I think that if you look at other companies like Brandina was talking about, and you look at like utility of exclusivity and utility of like these whitelists. So, the Red Village now, if you own a Blood Portal, it gets you access to a whitelist raffle for the second drop. If you hold certain assets in Riot Racer, you get more Riot coin. If you hold, OG status, you get an arrow car, dropped to you every year. So there's going to be reasons and rationale behind holding on to this Zed Pass. If you're long-term on Zed, I mean, $400 or $500 is basically like a breed fee for a knock, man. Like, yeah, I've paid far more money in breeding. Unfortunately, we just looked at Know Your Horse's breakdown of it, and we've spent 4 ETH on breeds. But, I would definitely say that is going to have some sort of utility in the future. And I can't say whether or not what it's going to be, but I think that they're going to probably use that as a vehicle to launch other promotions and other exclusive access things that other Zed stables want. And there's only 1,000, right? So if you think about it, there's 30,000 users of Zed. It's 1/30th, the populace of exclusivity. So I mean, that's a lot better in terms of ratio than most PFPs out there. So
yeah,
really excited for it.
Incredibly limited supply. I'm definitely holding on to mine. I have no intention of selling it. I'm really curious to see what comes out from this. Like what's next. So it's an exciting time. And keep in mind too, this is edition 1. What's edition 2 going to be? Who's that going to be partnered with? What's that going to look like? Maybe you're not a huge NASCAR fan. Maybe they do something with another one of their big unannounced partners. I mean, I think that could be really, really exciting. This would definitely pave the way for what that's going to look like in the future. Zach5 asked, do you guys think Zed will add a burn-off feature soon to fix the low floor prices? So have you guys taken advantage of any of these low floor prices, and what are your thoughts on that kind of mechanic? Let's start with you, D'Artagnan.
I think it's pretty simple. I think that Zed needs to figure out what to do with all of these extra horses, and so whether that's going to be launching a new customization and more race classes, or if they want to go into a burn mechanism where if you burn, 2 Buterins, you get a free Buterin breed. You burn, 2 whatever, you get a free Finny breed. That, or if they launch their Des token, I could see burning of these horses to acquire more Des token as part of a sort of, I wouldn't say liquidity pool, but it can be almost like a swap. Like, you swap it to a 0.00000 all the way into Infinity, whatever X wallet, which is a burn wallet. And the swap will swap you, Des token proportional to what you paid in breed. And I think that that'd be a really smart way for Zed Run to, one, reward people that have been here, but also, give them Des token, and Des token might be used for breeding in the future. Who knows? For other things, for other access. And when you go into tokenomics, owning token is like owning fractional shares of a company. They give you voting power, and they also can be provided in liquidity pools. You can do a lot of DeFi with it as well. And I think that Zed should start to look at DeFi pretty heavily as a mechanism of finance for this platform, instead of looking at more VC funding, because I think that we can raise a lot more money here and kind of stir and steer the way that Zed's going to go. So that's a long answer. I'm always long-winded, but I think that's kind of my thought process behind it.
Imagine both of those things at the same time. You get DeFi, VC coming in. Like, that's just an explosion of money.
It's nuts. It'd be nuts. And I think that might be what we might be looking at with Zed. We've not had any comms on this from Zed, by the way. This is just
purely speculation, not financial advice, purely speculation. Brandino, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the same thing. There's a lot of use cases, but I do think they're far off from approaching a lot of these different topics. So, like, I don't think it's on the top of their priority list, to be honest. Specifically, they just like the skins. Like, the skins are coming out in February. That's like one of their big projects right now. I don't think they're 100% focused on that. But we'll see what they're focused on probably very soon. I wouldn't suggest that going into the next year, like, we won't have any information what they're going to be planning.
Yeah, and I definitely think to that point, there are higher priorities for Zed at this time. We have it. The value isn't going to go anywhere. We're not losing out on anything. It's not like it's actively draining us in any way. We made the choice to buy them. So, yeah. What were we going to say there, D'Artagnan?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just drinking some water because I talk too much. But what I would get after is another thing, too. I think Zed is going towards, if they're smart, they're going towards this. I think they're going to be going towards a lending, leasing, permissionless smart contracts on top of layer 2s, and I think that that's what they should be looking at in terms of, kind of future and applicability, leasing out your horse and the owner gets a proportion of the profits. But I also think that they should be looking at, when you go into DeFi and these other things, is that you also open up the realm for DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, where racing teams can come together and bring all of their assets and race as one conglomerate, so like one corporation, one racing team. And I think that what that looks like is that there'd be a lot more power even in smaller stables racing together, and kind of like lessening the burden of the cost of breeding and racing by coming together with multiple syndicates. And I think that that's what I think Zed Run should be looking at. Zed, if you're watching this right now, you can always hire me. I'm here. I got the ideas. This is what you should be looking at. Yes, that instead of skins, but also think of marketing and advertisement on top of skins. If you have a skin like a drop from this pass, you can change that 84 skin that I have, which is a common, and you can make that into Metaverse Gaming skin, and I can pay to upgrade it or something, or I have to have 2 skins to make a customized skin. and I can, get the branding of Metaverse Gaming on the side of Jet Glue while he's racing, so that everyone knows who exact. And I think everyone does know who Jet Glue's owner is, but just saying.
It's like I love that there's just so much flexibility and so many different ways they could go. What if I burn 2 common skins from one, color tree, and maybe 2 commons could get me a rare. There's now a 52% chance or 51% of getting a rare in that tree. Or then the rest 49 is for the common. Like, I think that could be cool. The one thing I want to see, I want names. I want names back. So many good names are wasted on horrible horses. I'm guilty of this myself. I just want the names to come back. I'm not at all upset about MJ Stables being a donkey.
I was about to say, MJ, we're never gonna burn MJ Stables.
I will.
We're never burning it.
I will get your seed phrase.
Never.
I will get your seed phrase, and I will get that horse, and I will take it. I will leave everything else alone. Nothing else will be touched. But I'm getting that horse, and I am burning it. So, Casimir Blue came in with some horse names, looking for an eval, it looked like. And also, Asmathic, thank you so much for the follow. First one is Brian the Rabid Rabbit. I've got it up. It has 5 total races, including the Griffin. And I'm seeing some things here that may look a little similar. Thank you, Inhale Organics, to what we're seeing with Artful Diddy. It's unproven. We're showing some Flames 2000. We're showing Flames at 1600. It got a 10th Flames 1600. Could something be there? I mean, the first thing I would do is I would just keep running this horse out, but kind of aligned with what we were talking about. Why not consider mid-distance? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's a pretty clear hit that 16 more. And the reason why is you get that first 100% in the 1400 meter win. And then in the 16, you have that D rank 7 through 12, which I think should be 8 through 12 pretty soon. But, I think you should hit that D rank. That's shown me a lot of variance right there. And I like the first and I like the last, or the, probably close to last. So I'm going to go with that as an answer, MJ. Final answer.
Lock it in. What about you, Brandino? Same thoughts? Something different? You agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say one different thing. I don't think it's been tested in the long distance yet. Mm-hmm. So maybe hit 122, 124. I think the highest it's gone is to 2000. So, I mean, you always want to see what's going on that side of the spectrum as well. So maybe hit 1 or 2 of those, and then if that's not working out for you, then hit that 16 again.
Definitely agree. Horse number 2 in list is Jenny of My Heart. Also lightly raced. Only 4 races total, including the Griffin. So again, kind of we'll be facing a similar unproven, but let's, you got to take it one step at a time. Where are you currently sitting? How was the competition? What did it look like? So for this race, the horse ran a 1600 for its Griffin. It is a Z20 Buterin Legendary, but was racing against Z8 Elite Nakamoto's, Z8 Genesis Buterin. There's a Z44 in there, a Z10. Competition was kind of hard, Z9, but then also Z63, Z23. I see a 10, a 16, and 18. Brandino, you want to start off on this one? What are you thinking? What would you do next with this horse?
Okay, I'm gonna pass that back to D'Artagnan real quick. I'm just trying to pull it up because I can't really see right now. Stats, but you got it.
I got it. So I'm looking at the actual 1600 race that it lost its flame in, and it looks like it lost its flame in against 2 different horses. A Z8 Buterin with flame. It's a 4% winner. Mm-hmm. And that's just speaking to the base ability of this horse. Losing, it lost its flame 50% of the time. It only wins 4% of the time, and it looks like its distance preference is 16 to 18 for that horse. So I looked off of Arisen Sun, and that was a 54% flame rate at mid distance. So I was like, all right, let's see if there's any other mid distance horses, because it has a 25% flame rate at 16. What it's kind of telling me is that maybe this horse isn't the most gifted base ability horse, which would lend me to say, let's check out their distance prefs, because I see the second in the 16. So maybe it has some decent variance, second in the 1000. So maybe it might be more distance pref in long distance, or maybe it's more distance preference in short distance. But If you have a high variance horse, you're probably going to pull a first out of these 4 races somewhere in the 16. If you're pulling seconds, like that's what I would assume. You wouldn't get 2 seconds back to back. It's just a guess, but I might try touch a long 24 and then go back to short distance and check if it might have some distance preference at the short, and go from there. Back to you, MJ.
So I would totally like you've gotta try it out. You've got to try all 3 funnels with this horse. You've got flames at 16. Okay, that's awesome. You got flames at 1,000. You haven't hit long distance yet. Try each distance funnel and see what happens. Like, you luckily, or kind of a nice thing, is that both of these were fast and you got second in both of them. So I would do a 24 just to try and hit like the middle of that marathon, and then I would come back with a like a 12. Are you getting flames? What does that look like? It looks like all of these races for this horse and the horse prior were free races, so keep that in mind too. If you make the transition into paid, be wary of that. Your horse will not perform the same. It is different. It is more difficult. So just be careful of that. Last horse from Casimir Blue is Lily Lagrou, Lilly Lagrou. Who's starting this one off? I started off the first one. Was it Brandino? Did you get the? Or no, D'Artagnan got this one. Brandino, this one's going to go on you. When we load up. Looks like Lily has 52 races so far. A lot of middle finishes. And here we go. So we've got much more data here. Not profitable in any of them. A mix of what looks like $2.50 and free races. Any thoughts or anything kind of jumping out at you with this horse right now?
Yeah. So for me, I'm not racing this horse for any paid races, but it's actually really impressive, the A shape on this horse, to be honest. Like five fifth places, 10 sixth
Look
places,
at this.
10 seventh places, and 8 eighth places. And the thing about this horse will have utility. So the A shape tournament just passed. This horse would have dominated. Like you could have still raced this horse to figure out what its best A shape in free races is, and then dominate that next tournament. So I'm not racing this horse for profit, but maybe utility in the future.
I'll go next.
Absolutely.
I agree. It is A shape. I mean, look at the triangle chart right here. Look how tight the red is over the white. Like, that's like almost perfectly aligned with, hey, you're finishing right on the average. You're finishing right in the middle. I mean, look at this. I've got some of the offspring pulled up from Lily, and I'm not seeing anything super strong here. So I agree with kind of your comments, Brandino. One, I really wouldn't look to race this outside of trying to get more data points from free races. And then again, if there are any kind of specialized tournaments, would definitely check that out. Anything to add, D'Artagnan?
No, I was gonna say, look at how tight that standard deviation is, and that's what I was gonna go after. Was you look at your speed? It says average across the board, profile A-shaped across the board, and then standard deviation is literally tight at 16, which is like what we want for a perfect A-shaper, is to just run 16s and get literally sixth. It has no distance pref, and that means that there's no distance pref, and you have very, very tight variance. Because you don't run fast or slow, you just kind of run average. I mean, that's really where you want to be hitting it, and you can see that 16 is like perfect, literally perfect. So I really like the 1600 meter for this horse as for an A-shaped competitor. Hit us up after, we'll buy it for $50.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have some value here. We've got some other questions in chat. Blazer just wants some confirmation. Jet who? And then Award was confused as to who owns a horse named Jet who. I don't know if you guys know anything about this horse. I've never heard that name said ever. So
so if you ever seen Jet, Bullet, Spitfire, Flash, that's a great horse. It's an amazing horse that we have.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. We decided that perhaps the names mattered back in the day. And so we just put as many fast things that we could think of in the horse's name. So Jet Spitfire Bullet Flash, or Jet Bullet Spitfire Flash, is a great horse. Thank you for recognizing it.
Yes.
We literally did that because we saw Speeding Bullet was a fast horse. We saw like horses named like Main Event were good horses. So we're like, maybe the naming matters. So yeah, I don't know any other Jets other than that horse.
I don't think any other Jets exist at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't know any Jets other than that horse. And if you're talking about Jet Glue, Jet Glue is a beast, and he's been performing quite nicely. So if y'all want to come to the snow show tomorrow, I'm gonna rain some fucking gifties on your face with those first places. So let's go have some fun tomorrow.
I love that the irony of the name.
Has Chat ever won?
Only Award Racing has beat us. Only Award Racing has beat us. That's the only person who's ever beat us in the smoke show. And we didn't even hop in half the races in that smoke show because we had like 90 people in there and no races were filling because just one man was running it. It was Award Racing.
The legend. The legend.
He's legend.
Zed News Network, I believe Golden Glow asks if he can hire you, D'Artagnan, for his game.
Oh my goodness. What do you need? A commentator? Me to be DGen?
Yeah, there might be like a DGen role, maybe a like Thug 1, DGen 1.
DGen 1? I could be DGen 1.
What's the game, bro? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what's the game you're building? Like, this is interesting. We've had some people in here. I saw Mixed Reality Man. I just finished my cube, by the way. Gang.
Oh, I need to get on that.
I'm a dragon emperor.
Oh.
And now I own a loot box, 2 loot boxes with my cube.
Ooh.
Watch out, everybody. My world's going to be popping in the mixed reality.
If you know, something special going on there.
Exactly.
The accountant came in and said, check out Gitcoin, picked up for breeding purposes and got qualified for Keep on Winning tourney. So what a way to work it out. So currently has 63 races. We've got 56 of them in here now, excluding the Griffin, so 57. So I'm seeing, what we gave the advice of racing out different distance funnels and different distance preferences, and I'm seeing that done well here. You're off to a good start with that, the accountant. So I'm seeing mid distance 16, 18. I'm seeing 14, 22, 1,000, 12. So I think that's a very good job of racing your horse wide. That's a strategy that I've talked about for a while. And then kind of once you start to isolate things, then you can start going deep. So one thing that I don't like about this horse is I would say this horse is probably not going to be a great sprinter, especially at 10, 12. You've got 3, you've got 7, so you're lightly raced at 1,000. You're running kind of slow. The performance just isn't there. You aren't profitable. If we look at the arrow chart, again, it's kind of matching up with that performance. And looking at just the arrow chart alone, I like 22, 24, possibly 26. So we look at those here, 22 profitable, 26 not profitable, but only 4 races, but 50% first through third. And then 24 lightly raced, yes, left leaning, 9 races, 77% fire, 75% flame here, and 33% win, 33% first through third. So all of those have been wins. Any other thoughts on this horse, you guys?
Yeah, I think that is 22 is a lot of averages of freeze. So I would probably go into the $2 and try to sit in the $2. For that down rank, I'm a little worried. It looks like it's a pretty easy 7 through 12, 85% down rank in the 1,000. I might take that back. Speed is slow, standard deviation is below average, so you're really only going to get outpaced in the back by some U horses. So I actually do like that 1,000 meter for a D rank. Its average is, what is the average point for this? And -1. That's a pretty good average point in the freeze. So I do like this horse, but you need to test that 22 at $2, I think, is its best chance, and maybe test out some $2 24s a little bit more. It does look like, with those big distance preference specialists, they do a lot better at 26. So Jet Glue, for example, is a distance specialist at long distance. So his 26 is a lot better than his 24 and 22. and he's a lot faster. So I would definitely go towards, 22, 24, but test out that 24 a little bit more. But good horse.
The quick before you hop in, Brandino, the thing that I look at when jumping from free to paid, like I have like a cutoff. I said earlier, like I like hitting 30% show rate. We notice here that this horse has, I'm mouse over it, a 48% first through third rate at 25 races. Like that to me, that's very, very high. And to me, that's an indicator like, hey, maybe you're ready to take that next step. Same thing goes for 250 to 5, 5 to 10. If you're performing that well, that high, look at taking the next step. That's kind of what my cutoff is like. Brentino, any other comments on this horse?
Yeah, I mean, I like this horse a lot, and so there's the placements for the 1,000. I think it can actually D-rank if necessary, and I think they brought back the D-ranking in free races. So, I mean, even if it's going to be might be difficult to bring this horse down, you can just wait for those free races to bring it down back to Class 5. But I mean, I'm seeing flames in Class 2. I'm seeing a flame in a Class 2 $5 2,600 meter. Like that's seeing a flame up in Class 2 is amazing in itself. It also has another flame in a 22 up there. So, yeah, hit that long distance. You can bring him down if he starts with that 1,000 if you want to. But that horse definitely can be profitable. I promise you that.
Absolutely. And for those of you that are new to the stream, I want to hit on a little tip that I use as far as figuring out what class your horse should race in. So I use this average fire chart, and I'm looking for consistency of flames across multiple distances. And the cutoff is about 60-ish, 55%. I use my State of Zed tool in order to kind of look at where that performance benchmark is. So I see right here, Class 4, not many races, only 2 listed here, but 100% flame. I'm seeing 12 races, 5 races, 2 races. And again, 91 is the minimum. And then even in Class 2, we're getting 50% at some of those better distances, especially these longer distances. Which is kind of close to that cutoff. You've got this one at 72%. Might be influenced by the freeze, and we're not seeing anything at Class 1. So I would say, hey, try and get this horse racing in Class 2. I think that's going to hopefully improve your performance there. So often overlooked feature that I think is incredibly valuable. We talk a lot about distances, but we don't talk a lot about classes. So I like that. I believe you brought that up, Brandino, of like where it was getting that performance, and just wanted to kind of point out this area of the site. For those of you that don't know, I'll throw the link in chat. I got a handful of new people. That is my website, mjinformatics.com. This is the new version of Zetalytics. For those of you that aren't maybe super number heavy, we've got another horse, Grape Tree. I hope it's a purple horse. It is a purple horse. It is Electric Violet. Uh-oh. Is that what who's going after all the Electric Violets? Taco is.
Taco.
Uh-oh. Taco, we need to talk to Lob City Stables about this one.
That was like a good horse.
Yeah, this one's gonna be fun to review. So again, this one was raced wide. Brandino, you want to start this one off?
I mean, it's performing very, very well in the 1,600 meter, and it's definitely variance. So you're seeing like a lot of first places, you're seeing a lot of second places, and then you're seeing dead last, like straight up 12s. Like I don't think I've seen this many 12s in the 16 and freeze over there. So I would just hit the 16 for this horse, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Profit is 0.02 ETH. It's pretty heavy on the 16. It hit a lot of freeze, it looks like, as well with its wins, so it kind of got classed up real fast. Don't know if he was going for possibly some D ranks with that heavy variance. But I might want to find somewhere else that this horse can lose. And the only reason why I'd say that is this horse looks like it wins far more than it loses. I mean, I'm looking at a 33% win rate right now, 11 wins, basically nothing else. That's a pretty high variance horse. If it keeps performing, and I think it's just going to class up. I think it's going to go all the way to Class 1. And what I would like to see as it goes up in class is, can it still pull first places in 1,600 meters in $5 and $10 against some super good horses? Because it's still profitable if that is what it is, you know? And that's what I kind of would be looking at. It looks like a definite 1600 meter no distance preference specialist.
Yeah, and this is a fun horse. Like this is like when I got an Akaza. Like Akaza is one of those horses where it's like first or last. But this horse seems like it actually finishes way more often in first than it does last. But that can really shift when you get to up to class 3-ish, and 2. Um, so you're like kind of just entering class 3. So your performance in that class 3 is going to matter a lot, as well as class 2. But I love horses like this, man, because you can race them all day. Maybe you'll just stay even profit, or like you'll stay break even, or maybe you'll win a ton. So I like this horse.
I like this horse a lot too. So we seem pretty much in agreement on 1600. So I clicked in, drill down, and just look at how far ahead these finishes are from the average. Absolutely insane. At just under 78% flame rate in 1600 class 4. I think that's awesome. I see that now kind of dropping off maybe around the 50-ish, 55 mark in class 3. I think that's going to really fall off in class 2, just anecdotally off of what I've seen from other horse performances. And yeah, look at these places. 5 first, 1 second, 8th, 11th, 12th. Gosh, that's beautiful. So now with this horse, it was asked, don't know whether to sell now or not. Interested in what you think. It's a Z13 Finney Legendary Filly, Electric Violet. So if you owned this horse, again, not financial advice, if you owned this horse, would you sell it or would you keep racing it? And if you did sell it, what would you sell it for?
I'd probably sell it. I think I'd probably buy this kind of horse for like 0.1, 0.15. And if not, I'd be pretty much copacetic going into paid races all the way up to class 2 and 1 to see if I have a higher variance roll than the majority of the horses up there. I don't think spook factor, from what we were seeing with some of these placements out here, I don't know if spook factor's gone or if it's just kind of like dwindled down a little bit. But if it doesn't get spooked and it can win in class 2 and 1, I think this horse can go into much bigger money pot races. Personally, I could be very wrong. I'm just going off my own anecdotals. But yeah, I either try to sell this horse because I think that somebody else can test that theory. And if that theory is correct, it's a lot more ROI than what we're going to be seeing right now.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and talk on that. So I had a horse kind of like this, and his name was actually Booty Chug. And I put him up for 0.17 and it sold within 8 minutes. So with like basically the same type of like 33% win rate. People see the 33% win rate, they go, oh God, they're going to see your 0.02 profit and 170% ROI. So if you drop that, you have it up right now for 0.3. But I'm telling you, if you drop that price, even in like a market like this, like there's a possibility someone's going to see that and snag that horse up.
Absolutely.
So it's really up to you, but just know there is a pivotal point that you're entering in that class 3 and class 2 that can change this horse's look a lot, especially if you jump into paid races. So just know that.
And I would hold on to it. I don't think I could sell it yet. I see that Lob City got it 4 days ago for 0.0299. Which just blows my mind. And with the market down so much, I would race it up. You're in class 3 right now. See if you can get in class 2. See what happens there. If you start facing your resistance there, then maybe reconsider. But the other thing I want to point out too with this horse is you're at 66% first through third at 1600, averaging $2.50 entries. Bump that up. Get that up to 5. See what happens. Not financial advice. But you have the performance to potentially back moving up your entry fees and really helping profitability. So to me, I get too excited about there's too much that's unturned in this horse. I want to explore so much more what's out there. I have too many questions in order for me to sell this. I can't do it.
I'm with you on it. That's why I was like, hey man, either go for that 0.17 and go roll that into a Genesis floor value thing, right? And like see what you can get. But like honestly, if this thing can win $5 at the same rate that it's currently winning, or even a little less, you're winning $5 20% of the time, you're one of the best horses in the game. like hands down at that class and distance. And if you go up to class 2 and your performance continues, I'll be bumping in the 25s just to see if I can hit it. It's a $175 roll to see if you can hit a win in a $25. But immediately when you win one of those 25, one of the 5 times, I think that your horse is now worth 0.5, 0.7, 1 ETH, like immediately. So
that valuation jumps up huge. Great point there, D'Artagnan. Next, we got the co-show with Pink on the Outside. First, so we've got well raced wide, well raced, lightly raced, still some unproven. Fire across a ton of distances. A lot of free races and some paid races with no real profitability or performance to back it up. It looks like here the best overall distance from a pure performance standpoint might be 1,800. We see it's left leaning. We see that also at 2,000. But we got $2.50 in free races. D'Artagnan, any thoughts on Pink on the Outside?
Yeah, I don't know if this horse is profitable. And I hate to say that, but I think that it's very tight standard deviations, or they're below average, which is, you're kind of hoping for below average standard deviation, or when it comes to your D rank, but not when you're not in your left leaning. You want to see like a little bit more variance there with that 10% win. That's where you see that negative profit in your best one, which is your 18. So I don't know if this horse can perform, to be honest, and maybe you guys have different takes on that. I'd love to hear it.
No, I agree.
Dino?
I think it lacks. I agree. I think it lacks some of that variance that you need. Looks promising in the 18, and it looks promising in the 2000s. So, maybe this horse has very good base ability for hitting it. What is it, a Z11? Because I like the flames. Like, I like the ability to pull flames up to class 3, and class 2. But I don't know if it's a racer, because I don't know where the down button would be to bring it back down, because it's starting to lose those flames up in class 2. So I don't know where the down button would be, but it might be pretty decent for breeding.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I would agree with that. So this, to me, when I see this horse, the first thing that comes to mind is this average class varies. We've got some 4s, we've got some 3s, we've got some 2s. And then I'm not seeing profitability, but I'm seeing flames, and I'm seeing some wins and some 1st through 3rd. So one, I would manage your entry fees. Look at freeze, look at $2.50. There's some more expensive entry fees in there. I would pump the brakes on those. Then I'm looking at this fire chart. We talked about before how you're looking at consistency of flames across distances, regardless of what they are. And really, class 1, you've got nothing. Class 2 is super low. It's starting to kind of come up in class 3, but I really think this is a case of a horse that is racing out of class. And kind of to the point that was brought up, this horse has a lot of like kind of stronger or some up buttons, and down classing just looks like it wasn't really a thing for this horse. So I really think that this would be potentially a class 4 horse. Can you get there? How do you get there? Because it's currently sitting with 102 class points in class 2. I think would be very difficult, but I think you'd really start to see performance changing if and when you could get down there. The next horse from the co-show is Cheap Reality.
Cheap Reality.
Kind of like the name. It's kind of a fun name.
It is. It definitely is.
It's a Z10.
Featuring legendary filly.
That's exciting. That is exciting. Class 3, 55 class points. While this loads up. Oh, this looks like it's going to be fun. All right, so I think it's on me to kick this one off.
It's
so
on you.
Just looking at it, I'm only going to look at this side of the chart for now. So profitability at 2,000, yes, left leaning fast, below average, and you're lightly raced. I'm super excited about this. I might continue racing this. So let's see. Okay, you've got other distance funnels. 1,400, not profitable. High 1st through 3rd. But that's at freeze. It looks like the few times that you were race paid maybe didn't go so strong. Let's see. Do you have 22 in here? 24. Here's only 2 races at 24. You're kind of smack dab in the middle. Yeah, 4 through 6 and a 7 through 12. There's a 26. I'm not seeing 22 in here. We have 57 races. Okay, so 54 here. Almost all of the races. So I'm thinking this would be a class 4. I would go class 4, 2,000 meters. Insane win rate in first through third. I would bump that entry fee up in there if you could and start getting some profitability, some more profitability for this horse because I really think it could perform there. D'Artagnan, any thoughts?
Yeah, hit the 1,000 as your D rank.
Oh, good point. Very
I'm
good
looking
point.
at hit the 1,000 as your D rank. Your 16 is A shaped, so you could do a freeze all day. I think it's very low 1 through 3, but the 4 through 6 and the 7 through 12 is a pretty easy 80% or so, 82%. Finish. So I think that if you look at 16% 1 through 3 with 0 wins, you might go up 2 class points, but you're going down about 8 class points or 6 class points. So you're averaging a -4 in freeze as an A shaper. But if not, I try to hit real hard on that 1,000 meter, because if you look at the fact that you have 11% 1 through 3 in the 1,000, I think that just tends to lend towards some of your variance. And I know it says below average standard deviation for variance, but I think that it's still sometimes you're going to get that 1 out of 10, that 1 out of 8, you're going to get a placement. But I definitely hit that 1,000 as a D rank, and then I go bullish on that 2,000 meter and bump the profit, the buy-ins as well, as MJ was saying. Or I try the 22. By the way,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that. Good point. Good point. Brandino?
Yeah, I agree. Really like that 2000 looks really really good with the placements. With the 1 through 3, I think you might find some trouble trying to D rank. There's possibility, but it might be plausible for you to do it. The 1400 is very strange to me. Like very very strange to me. I don't know how to breed a good 1400-meter horse. I don't know when to recognize a horse as a good 1400-meter horse. But that's very interesting as well. But I would stick with that 2000, I believe, and trying to do the D rank in the 1,000.
I love it. I love it. On to the next one. We have FPS Leo says, check out this donkey. Frequent flyer.
Oh my gosh. I gave him frequent flyer. It's
Oh,
a
no.
decent horse. It's not a bad horse. I don't want to hear any BS right now. Y'all are killing me.
Avon Field brings up a good point, too. Just because a horse can't win doesn't mean it's a bad horse. We talked about specialty races. We've talked about breeding. I completely agree, Avon Field. And you're welcome, Casimir Blue. No problem. We are happy to do it. It's what we're here for. We want to help you understand the game. We want to help you understand your horses a lot better. Whether you're new, whether your horse is new, whether you've been in Zed for months, years, whatever. We are here to help. We want to help. We want to help on board. We want you to have the best experience possible, regardless of your budget, regardless of your buy-in. That's what Zero to Hero is all about. So let's check out this donkey. Who wants to start this one off?
I'll add Sling on.
Talk. I'm gonna let you guys talk, and then I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna listen. All right.
Okay. All right. Let's
all I gotta say.
Let's rip this donkey apart, Brandino.
Yeah, I mean, wait, did D'Artagnan breed this?
I'm not talking about it.
I don't know. We could look that up.
Because then I'd understand the donkey aspect. Like I would understand that stable. That stable is a little finicky over that side of Metaverse Gaming. But yeah, I don't know about this horse too much as a racer. Actually, you'll know its placements aren't too bad. Its placements aren't too bad. Coming in last. All right, I can't save it. I'm sorry, I can't save this horse. I think.
Try class. Sorry, you've got the Flames class 4. You've got 100% first through third at 4 races. You're technically profitable at 1,400. I'd say just spin the wheel, give it a try, see what happens there. It's raced wide, but still relatively unproven throughout. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. You can see that here again in the arrow chart, just slightly ahead. So I would think maybe 250, but with how tight that is, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't see any D rank guys. I didn't actually do analysis on this horse. I gave it to FPS Leo and told him, good luck. And I had some pretty decent win rate on it, and it looked pretty left leaning. I didn't see a D rank on it at the time, but I think that was not as raced as it is right now. I'm not certain. But yeah, the 14 I think was what I was going to continue to race for profit and see how far it goes. But its variance, it's fast, but its variance is pretty tight. So I think it has decent base. Look at that flames. I think it's an okay base for a breeding horse. It may not be a racer though.
Yeah, flames all over the place. Golden Glow got back to you about the being hired. Looking to hire you for Got Hands. Said you were trying to get hired by Zed. LOL.
Oh yeah. Yeah, would love to get hired by Zed. We got hands over here at Metaverse Gaming. So
You wanna know what? There was 2 frequent flyers, and I was looking at the wrong one.
Oh
Horse
no.
can be this horse can be saved. I want to take back my statement, but it might not be able to be saved.
thank you.
Third place. It's
There
not
you
terrible,
go.
and definitely a breeder.
It's got
I'll
some
take back that
potential.
one.
It's got some potential. We've got Hillside Homie asking if we can take a look at Zabo Swinney. I think that's a Davo Sweeney pun. If so, that's hilarious. Who's D'Artagnan? Is this one back on you?
I think it's Brandino actually. I think it's on
Brandino,
Brandino.
hit us
All
off.
right.
Get us
What is
going.
it called?
Zabo
Zabo
Swinney.
Okay. It's like, how fast can you analyze real quick? All right, definitely a U in this. I 100% can see that, and it is a natural U with 0.00 lifetime profit over 354 races. So some U horses can be profitable and some aren't. This one looks like it's actually finishing more in last place than it is uh, first place. With that being said, I think it's U location. If anyone wants to take over, I'm just pulled it up right now. But
Yeah. The screen share should be up in the streaming link. You should be able to see my screen. If you can't. So,
okay.
I like it at 1400. You've got a lot of right use, and you can kind of see here how dense the red is behind the horse. And it is running a little slow, but you have profit. How much profit though? 141 races, average fee of free at 1400 with a 0.019 profit. It's holding on. It's doing all right. But I'd like to see that profit higher for that amount of races. And it looks like, yeah, and if you look at the final positions down here, you can definitely see that is a right-leaning U. Barely profitable overall. I really think this horse is currently in class 3. I would try and get this back down to class 5, and I think you'll start to see some of that performance shift and be more favorable with its variance.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit onto what I just said. So this kind of reminds me of that other horse we looked at before. That kind of we were at that point of whether I think it was Grape Tree, where we're at the point when it's in class 3, class 2, where that becomes the crux of a U-shaped horse, and your U-shape can turn from left leaning to right leaning. And I think this horse might have actually hit that crux and said, "I can't win up here anymore." Like,
Yeah, past the point of
so
no
that
return.
U-shape.
It's over the cliff.
But I mean, it's also very untested in a lot of the other
16.
races.
16.
Yeah.
16, man. I want to see more 16.
What makes you say that?
It doesn't. It's just that, if this is a super high variance horse, why not put it where there's no distance pref? I mean, there's definitely a little bit of distance pref in the short distances, you can see, which is where you want to tend to race those horses when they have those sort of like distance preferences. But like, if you are winning out on variance and some of those distance preference higher variance roll horses are beating you, like Asterism, for example, or Poodle to the Moon, who has actually Poodle has just insane base and also insane variance. But if you can't beat them at distance pref, you might have a higher variance roll just without distance pref. So I would probably do freeze in the 16 since you're mostly racing freeze and see how that goes. But if it's 7 or 8 races in total in the 16, I mean, I don't know. I think that it could be something.
I'd see something there too. And just by looking at the triangles here, it's like, let's get that class back down, because here's your class 5, here's your class 2 free, and you can see there are only 2 races above it. Whereas class 5, that performance improves significantly.
Yep. So maybe there's a down button. You see some slow speeds, some very slow in 2000. Perhaps it's extremely slow in 24. If it has some distance preference in 1000, right? There's that short distance pref. It might have the opposite in long distance, where you can actually D-rank this horse, and it can turn from being sort of a UE donkey to an actual like class 5 nice U horse in 2s and 5s.
Absolutely, I like it. I like it.
I haven't seen, and I don't think there's one long distance or like ran it for this horse, so I would definitely test a little bit over there. But I agree with the 16, and I like the fact that you're breeding a Zed 29 Zabo cross. Like,
That's awesome.
So impressive. That's impressive, to be honest, to be able to still get something out of a horse at a Z29 cross level.
Yeah, I mean, Hillside, if you got that kind of money, be breeding Zabos down there, bro. Like, hey, we're looking for sponsors. How you doing, buddy? Sheesh, that wallet fat.
As Mathic has a question for us, I bought a Finny Z6 Gen that's sitting on like 300 class points. Got it for really cheap, and while it can down class, I'm just wondering if you guys think it's worth it at this point with the ELO class changes hinted at.
Toss the name of the pony in here.
Yeah.
We'll see if they'll throw that in. I'd say just at face value, do what you can if it has a down button to maximize for that. If you're not going to trash the horse's performance, if it's got 300 class points, it's doing something right on some level. So I'd really try and balance performance just in case for resell versus also kind of managing that the points themselves. So like balance those two things out the best that you can, and I'd say slowly chip away at it just to maximize your potential going forward. But if you have 300 class points, like I think your horse is going to be pretty solid. We can circle back to that. Scott O in the meantime says, check out my mate's horse, Antique Boom, looking like a solid U-shaper.
Ooh, look at those flames.
So Antique Boom is a Z18 Legendary Buterin filly. Definitely you, a little right leaning. Currently in class 4, 163 total races coming up right now. Perfect. We've got them all in here. I'm seeing 16, 18, 2000, 12, 14, all profitable, all right use. But 85 races at 1800, profit of 0.062, 21% win, 33% first through third. Any additional thoughts on this one, guys?
I like the horse.
Horse looks like a lot of fun.
It. Yeah, a lot of fun in the 18. I definitely like it a lot. And I'm just looking at what it has at the moment. That 2000 looks... Yeah, I think it might have pretty decent base, so it's going to be more sticking towards the 18 versus lacking some of that distance pref for the long distance. So I really think you actually got it on the money when it came to that 1800 meter. Is there anywhere you can pay with freeze to downrank this horse? And it looks like the 1000 meter is a pretty easy free downrank. I wouldn't pay any more in the 1000. I'd try to hit that D rank in zero money dollars, and then just roll the 18 and try to, maybe you can even get down in class to 5 from 4 to 5. I mean, it might ruin the win rate a little bit, but like you go in 5s all day down there, and I think you'd be dominating. You could win up from 5 all the way through 4 and then go back down and kind of repeat the process and never touch 3.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Lob City throws out a question. Should I be worried about lack of fire in Class 2 or Class 3? The only time for me that I worry about lack of fire is if I had it in, say, Class 5, Class 4, and then it falls off. If I don't have it, if I don't have fire and I have performance, I'm not as worried about it at all. So I'm looking again for that drop off. Any additional thoughts on that, guys?
No, I think you hit it on the money. I think you have a high variance horse. It might just have been bred as a base ability class 4 horse, but like you might have hit like the top 1% lotto on variance. So, I mean, doesn't matter. Look at Desert Rose. Desert Rose loses flame outside of 3. It's one of the best mid distance horses in the game in terms of variance. So, I mean, no, I don't think it matters. You're losing flame in class 2 and class 1.
Yeah, because you got to realize once you're up in class 2 and specifically now with this new system, if you're up in class 2, like the big boys are really competing up there. Like 100% of the big boys. Everyone else is really sticking in class 3, going crazy in class 3. But the big boys are really in class 2 and in class 1. And those are the Genesis horses, that base ability level just might be a little bit better, as well as that variance level. So you might not pull that flame. But if you have the lotto variance up there, you can still beat those scary horses up there. Like, no worries.
Motherload says, see, I don't understand why these U's have below average standard deviation. The reason why that's on me, Motherload, is because I've quartered the standard deviation just into 4. Haven't actually looked at the distribution of them. That would explain that for you. And if anything, I would guess they're pretty close to being spot on the money in average. There's no like 5th middle position. So 1, I could look at carving that out. But 2, I wouldn't be terribly, terribly concerned with that. I can get it to go. Oh, Hillside says can't get it to go down. Look at class 1, December 1st race, looking to downclass in at 1. Yeah, so sometimes declassing and downclassing in free races can be just like it's harder when you go from free races when you're looking to win, going to paid. It can be a little more difficult to downclass in those free races. Where if you're downclassing in paid. So that's equally as important to figure out, in my opinion, because it can definitely change up on you.
Yeah, but you can there's different tools out there to use as well. Like there's StackNax, there's
100%.
Know Your Horse that can then help you kind of figure out which ones are trying to downclass and who's really trying to downclass in the races, and you can kind of use that to your advantage.
Would definitely recommend, if you aren't already, use one of those plugins, StackNox or Know Your Horses. Like, check those out. I think using my tool to help understand the class and distance your horse should be running in, paired with understanding the actual individual races themselves with Know Your Horses or StackNox, is a deadly, deadly combination. Match made in heaven right there.
Absolutely. I just want to touch on that a little more, MJ.
Go for it. Yeah.
We use StackNox when it comes to entering races real fast. So you can't always tell if some of these horses are some killers. Like you just don't know. There's so many new horses ecosystem that StackNax really helps you be like, oh my gosh, look at this one horse I never knew about. Maybe I should wait about joining this race. Because you think you're got a killer at some certain distance. You can use Know Your Horse for quick lookups as well, and you can look at the drill down, which I like to look at the U with placement and the drill down there. But then when it comes to like this deep analysis, when it really tells me like I'm stuck, I'm lost, let me do a deep dive. We're on MJ, and we're on MJ heavy, and we're just sitting here arguing between distances, between looking at placements, at speeds, and we're like, I don't know the variance. Maybe the variance is high, and then Brandino's like, look at the standard deviation, look at the finishes, and I'm like, damn it, maybe this horse is a donk, right? So like we use MJ probably for the most analytical and honestly, like to know if the horse is worthy or not to continue. And that's like if it doesn't pass the MJ tool, we kill it. So
rip. Also
RIP.
can be used for just like, hey, I'm looking at a horse to buy. Plug it in here. You don't have to own it. You don't have to be actively racing it. Really deeply understand the horse before making a decision. Does it fit your stable? Does it fit your budget? Do you already have a great 1,400 meter racer, and this horse is a 1,400 meter racer, similar class? Do you want another one? Like, then that kind of displaces your other horse. Like, there's a lot to think about in horse acquisition. that I think is kind of often overlooked, and I really think that my site can help with that. As Mathic says, my Z6 is named Understanding Distance. We've got that in, and holy mother nuggets, this has a lot of races. We've got just under 900 here, 1,600, 447 races, average class of 1.3, average place right there in the middle. It is profitable, almost half an ETH in profit, 17% winner, 36% first through third. Look at that average fee of 0.003. That is absolutely insane. Any comments on this horse, guys?
You just flexing, bro?
For real,
I just
bro.
want to know, bro. You like just flexing on us? Sheesh. This horse is
Absolutely
nuts.
insane. Absolutely
This horse is
insane.
And it's a 1600 specialist. That is literally my favorite horse name. Like, it's not an onomatopoeia. What is it called? It's not a, I guess like a not a double entendre. Gosh, guys, what is it? Where like the name resembles the opposite.
Oh,
Man.
ironic.
I guess irony. Yeah, it'd be irony. Wow, I'm stupid. There's a lot of irony, and I love it. I love that.
Absolutely crazy.
Yep.
Look at this absolute monster. Big shout out to I Am Poppy Crypto. Thank you so much with the raid. Greatly appreciate it. I Am Poppy Crypto is a new Zed streamer. Go ahead and give him a follow. Hit him up in chat. Definitely check him out. He was doing almost daily. I don't know if you still are. Zed races, and just learning, understanding the platform, growing each day. It's really fun to watch him develop as a stable owner. I thought I could have misread it, but I thought I saw in the stream chat, Avon Field, I'm sorry you and everyone else are deaf, from that. But yeah, that audio is insane.
What was it?
Sorry, I got distracted. My ears are still ringing. Antonym, someone said, Motherload. I am Poppy Crypto. Hey, whether it's 1, 2, 3, it doesn't even matter, or 100. Anything coming over is greatly appreciated.
Yeah. I'll
So
touch on understanding distance a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I think you got an amazing breeder on your hands. Like that in-house breeding, I think will be really good with that horse. To be able to take the studs from it yourself. And I'm also like, if you look at the placements of the 2000, like it is very very right viewed. So I mean, if you want to bring him down, bring him down. It's gonna take a while. I promise you that. But if you want to bring him down, bring him down.
No problem,
Yeah,
Poppy Crypto.
Is this the horse? Is this the horse that you were talking about, that you picked up, your mate picked up, that is like 300 class points? Because I would definitely say, I think that this horse is gonna have a hard time D-ranking. It's looking at its down button right here. It looks like it has 100%. Oh wait, this is still the wrong horse. It's
Deep
L
Sea
of
one.
Love.
I just pulled up
I
L
know,
of Love.
I
That
know.
was the next one coming in.
Yeah.
Understanding Distance, I
L
believe,
of
is what we
Love.
have had up.
Yeah, I have Understanding Distance up. I just think it's really good. It's going to be a pretty decent breeder, with its flame rate, especially as a Finny. I agree with Brandino on that. It made Understanding Rome 16% winner, 15% winner in paid races, and it made a 9% paid race Wee Biscuit winner. It made a 10% Rigger paid race winner. I mean, like that looks like you have a hit rate of about 2 of 16, 2 of 18. It's 1 out of 9. It's not bad for a Finny, but then I would also say, like, you might want to look at, pairing it with some really strong base ability, flaming everywhere horses as well. I don't know if I haven't looked at all the horses in here. I could toss this horse and all the breeds into the blood tool and tell you what that says, but which I'm not going to do. It would break a contract that we have with our boy Dan Shan, but this is overall a really solid, I think, breeder, as Brandino said. I really think it's a really solid breeder.
Love it. Next horse we have is L of Love from Lob City Stables again. And just looking at this, I mean, 10, 12, 14, look at how far the red goes back, and then it starts to tighten up down here. And then it kind of flattens out at the middle distances. Then as you get into 22, 24, 26, you see the red appear on the other side. I mean, this horse looks kind of spoiled for choice in the marathon distances. It's got great profitability, great flames, great performance. Like you're checking, I like to say, each one of these columns is a piece of the puzzle in figuring out your horse. You have all the pieces. You have a complete puzzle with this horse. It is to me, it is very clear as day, ironed out. You're racing above 250, you're getting good profit. You've got consistent look at 13, 20, 21, 52, 53, 51. And you've got some down buttons here as well. Very clear down buttons. Um, I really don't have too much else to say. It seems very cut and dry, very straightforward.
Brent, I'll let you go, and then I'll go.
Profit. Yeah, 0.64 profit. I'm happy with that. That's the horses. Those are the type of the horses I'm looking for, to be honest, all the time. Not much to say on it. And I love marathoners, man. So congrats on this.
So I didn't. When you said L of Love, I didn't have to look at the horse. I race this horse all the time. Have raced this horse all the time with Jet Glue. It's a better horse than Jet Glue. It actually spikes Jet Glue.
Wow! Whoa!
Yeah,
I didn't think that was possible.
Horse spikes Jet Glue in the long distance. So L of Love is a dominant horse. We talked about this Lob City on the I believe probably like 3 months ago. Going back and looking at what horses have spiked Jet, and L is one of them, one of the few. And L is going to be one of the top Genesis horses for the rest of time. Especially when you start looking at what they're going to do with the game. I think Zed's going to have to do some algo changes in terms of like giving a lot of preference to the Jennies, because there's a lot of donks. And so like I think Jennies will continue to have its own race class, to have its own stuff and applicability and maybe some tweaks to them. But I think L of Love is a top 50 marathoner, and it will probably stay in the top 100 for a while. And I think it was in the top 25 or top 30 probably in September when I was looking at the first LIR syndicate drops, when they dropped the list of horses, and Jet was like 80th. But L of Love is a dominant horse, man. Congrats.
All right, Brentino, any thoughts on this? Further thoughts?
No, just like I said, 0.64. You're good, bro. You're chilling. We'll be fine with that horse. I don't get to go up against them because I'm not usually racing. Actually, I never saw L of Love before, but looking at it, it is a dominant horse.
Yeah, and very smartly raced, very, very well raced. You can tell that the owner kind of understood this horse and developed it out. We're gonna wrap up. We're coming in on 2 hours right now. So we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna finish with Academy Pleaser from the accountant. But before we do that, we had a question from chat, which was, try and find it here. Twitch Insane Machine says, "Is there a difference in the racing algo between free and paid races, or is it just the competition?" Thoughts on
Competition.
that?
This is competition, 100%.
It's just that simple. I mean, a lot of people race frees, especially when we're just testing horses. We usually test if it's a good breed and we see its Griffey did pretty decent. We'll test it in twos. If we don't like the Griffey, we test it in frees. So you're getting a lot of guys like us, Alhambra and MJ. We test frees all the time with donks because we think they're donks, and they usually turn out to be donks. So when you jump to that paid, that first $2, you're starting to look at, okay, is it a top 15% horse right now out there? Because top 15% horses of all the horses are going to be in twos. Then you start, okay, I'm winning twos. Okay, let's go to fives. That's going to be the top like 5% horses to top 2%. And then you're in 10s and 15s. That's the top 1% of all the horses that are in those races. So you have to really start to realize that there's 160,000 horses, and that, the free races are really where a lot of us racers test our horses that we don't think are good. And when you jump to that page, you're jumping all the way up to the top 15%, like almost immediately. And that's a lot different than like the bottom, the mid 50s, the mid 50% horses, like those. MJ, you remember we went through all the odds, man, back in the day when there was 80,000 horses. We sat here for 2 days straight, hours till 4 a.m. in the morning, look at every horse's odds in the ecosystem, and there's about 90% glue. That's what we figured out. It's a real thing. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the difference between freeze and paid competition.
Yeah, but there's definitely no algorithm change from free from free to paid. Um, a lot it just comes into base ability and then variance 100%, and the competition you face.
I almost look at free races as a subclass. So, a free class 5, really treat that as like a class 6. And, a free class 4, that might be like a class 5.5 kind of a thing. We've got our final horse up for the night. Academy Pleaser. Anyone want to jump at this one to start us off?
I'll let Brent go. I talk a lot.
Yeah, got a pull. Let me see. Is that Academy Pleaser?
Yep.
Z15, Zabo Elite. It definitely has different distance preference, so it's distance preferencing towards the short distance, but I don't think it is placing very well in the short distances. So not doing too well in its distance preference categories. Its claims are naturally coming out in free races, so you know where this horse is running, but it is not. It's not taking that money it's not taking that flame in paid races. So you know where this horse runs, specifically by the free races, but its variance probably isn't enough, or its base ability isn't enough to really get those dubs in paid races. Um, so I don't think I would continue to run it in paid races. You can still run it in free races. Does it actually have profit? Am I looking at the right horse?
It is not
I don't see
profitable.
any profit. No profit.
Academy Pleaser 15.
Unless
Yeah.
it was, yeah. Well, hold on. This is showing something different. Class 5, 120. Yeah, let's double check that, because one thing is showing profit. Oh, unless it had some performance from a any sort of tournament showing, that would not be calculated in here. That could affect
Gotcha.
things.
Yeah, so that's why it's showing. That's why it's showing the profit. Because I'm looking at hockey and it says 0.06 profit. But I don't think I'm racing this horse too much in paid races.
Yeah, right here, the A-shaped stakes quarterfinal sprinters to 1200 meter 1.1805. So that's another thing to note, and actually a good point is that the tournament races are not showing up in here, just to eliminate kind of some of that variance in performance. Yeah, so
I do want to look at.
Go ahead.
I do want to look at one thing. Would you want to pull up a horse real fast? Because
Sure.
I'm debating between my own horse and I have my two buddies in here that are, specialists at what we do.
All right.
And
What
so
is
if
your
you don't
horse?
mind, can you pull up Cincinnati?
Oh, geez. CN.
Double N.
Yeah.
Is it this one? I need some help on this horse.
All right. So as this loads up, Cincinnati is a a Z10 Buterin mare. Genesis. All right, so 49 races. I'm looking. I'll start analysis. I'm gonna start analysis at the fire. So I would say do not race this horse. It's currently in class 4. I would be scared of class 3. I'd be interested to see how class 4 is actually doing. Looking, we'll work our way up now. Again, completely different way of evaluating the horse. I see it looks like you ran a lot at 1,000. You've got some performance out in front. Same thing with 12, also in 14. That seems to start to shift a little bit more as you go up in your distances. So let's check and see what we have here. So profitable in 12, not profitable anywhere else except for 26, only 2 races there. So you've got 11 races at 1,200, 81% fire, average fee, profit of 0.023, 27% win, 54% first through third. 1,000, however, you're getting a lot of, you're kind of on the opposite side of that, a little more A shaped. And look at that 4 through 6, 7 through 12 is much higher from your finished distributions. So I like 12, and you're half as many races, performing a lot better. I would consider trying with that first through third at 55% about. I would try a $5 race there.
Oh, I've been doing tens and
How's it?
fives and twos.
Okay. I would settle in at
Um,
5 consistently, see how that levels out, and then look to up it.
I
Yeah.
sort of do
I
this.
mean,
Yeah, you go, Bren, and then I'll explain what I'm
yeah.
kind of
So
doing.
I mean, I know you, D'Artagnan. I know what you do when you race, and you are a quick trigger pull to go straight up to $10 and $5. And that's why you're confused with this horse, probably because that's why you're confused why you're getting those like 5, 8, or the 8 fifth places or not performing right there. I think you still have a down. I think you have a down button in the 24, 26 with this horse, and this horse is performing really well at the 12. But I think the dollar buy-in is what is skewing. Um, the dollar buy-in was probably skewing the horse a little bit. Um, so not winning the higher buy-ins all the time. But I'd still go with the 1200 and then bring him down in the 24. I think this is a good horse.
I like it. I like it. I would agree.
So the question I have for this horse is, do you think that this horse, his standard or her standard deviation, or her variance, right? I think she used. So like, I've caught a part of her U, right, when she gets like an 11th and a 10th, and then I'm like, all right, let's go to $5 and $10 now after a couple last places, and like a 12, and that's where I've caught like a $10 W in a 1200 meter. That's, you know what I mean. Like I've sort of been able to catch some of her higher dollar races, and with that, like that left, the higher variance roll, and that's what I've been trying to catch, I guess, as you see the inconsistency of the buy-ins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, get that variance roll correct, if that makes any sense. It's an interesting horse that I'm playing with, because I know I can raise $2 all day and win a lot more than 27%, but I'm trying to catch those bigger money pots when I think my variance roll is coming up.
So what would you bring up a good point with that? Like, hey, I could race 250 all day. What is your goal with this horse? Because you could say, hey, I want to race this for maximum profit and I want long-term holding, or hey, I'm looking to pump up stats for eventually a flip. I think there are a lot of different ways to play it. What is your goal with this horse? And I think that's important too, to not only have like a stable goal, but like a horse goal. And I think that's something that's not really talked about much.
I think she has decent breedability too. So I think that, I'm going to breed from her. And I also think that I'm going to try to maximize profit. I don't care as much. I think a lot more people right now are looking at how much profit does this horse have versus what's its win percent. And I personally, look at those places. Ugh.
Yeah, a lot in that middle.
That's that's an A-shaped 1,000. It's so confusing. Because why the 12? Why is the 12? You know what I mean? Like, that's my question. Like, seriously,
So,
I'm very serious. Why 12 and not 1,000 and not 14 as much?
So that was like back in the day when, I don't know, months ago. It is basically just the fact that there is so much nuance to these horses. Yes, there are horse, archetypes. There are molds that horses fit, but there's within each one of those molds there is nuance. And not every horse is going to fit that exactly. So I would call this, or refer to this, as a very nuanced horse. And that's why I stress like racing a horse wide before racing deep. It's extremely rare, and it's very hard to understand and to figure out, but they do definitely exist. Look,
It's Asterism's an example. Asterism is a 1,200 meter specialist. It's a crazy horse. Versus 1,000, but I saw that a new owner is racing a lot in 1,000, and I just didn't think, with how many horses we've ever raced, I've ever had a 1,200 meter specialist. in my life, and we've raced hundreds of horses. You see us hold 100 horses, well, we've probably flipped and sold and gave probably 50 plus horses away. Not gave 50 horses away, but we probably got rid of 50 to 60, 70 horses
Yeah.
throughout our time here. So, I've never come across a 1,200-meter specialist, and I think it's just so unique to bring up and see your guys' point, because it's that 1,000 really mind boggles me that it doesn't have it there, but it has in the 12.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've got one that was Blue Wings that was getting a 9% winner, 45% show in 2000 at 11 races, and then at 1,000 is a 12% winner with a 50% show at 8 races. Like, those are just so opposite. Yes, absolutely. So they exist.
Confusing.
They exist, and that's why you gotta really, like, deep dives are important. Not every horse fits the mold perfectly.
There's nothing weirder than the 1400 though. Like,
I don't know. So
I don't know how you make one of those, bro.
Oh, I do.
But I want it. I want
one. Murder Weapon. Buy Murder Weapon off of me.
Oh
maybe not.
I know one guy who prints 1,400-meter horses, and he doesn't mean to. It's LJD Racing. That man has made more 1,400-meter horses than I've ever met anybody on this planet that's made 1,400 meter. And he made one of the best 1,400-meter horses in the game. Chit chat chittin'. I mean, that horse is nuts. But yeah, it's so strange. But MJ, I'd like to go back to the tweet. We have a giveaway going on for our stream tomorrow.
100%. I was just about to pull that up. Thank you for saying that. Boom. Tweet is right here. We are currently up to 30 likes, 25 retweets, and 1 quote tweet. I'm going to link that back in chat tomorrow on the Smoke Show, aka the Snow Show. Take it away, guys. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, so we're doing a like, retweet, tag 2 friends. You must follow Silver Knight PCs. I've already checked to see if the 25 retweets have followed, and unfortunately, about only 16 of them have.
Ooh.
So to have eligibility, you have to follow Silver Knight PCs. This is their giveaway. They're giving out a really sweet mechanical keyboard and wireless mouse. It's going to have Metaverse Gaming engraved into the keyboard. So you're going to have a one of one, the only one that will ever exist currently and of its form. And we'll be giving it out tomorrow. We really want this retweet, and we want this giveaway to go well. These guys are amazing. They do custom build PCs. They're the best PC shop in all of North Carolina, and that is a fact. By how much they do in business, how much they run the Carolina computer Facebook group, and the whole industry out here. And they're huge on the East Coast. Great guys. They started us off with our streaming equipment and with our mothership that we run all of our streams off of over there. Nice 3080 build, custom build for us. Runs like a whistle. And these guys are just the best. So please give some love, tag your friends, have your friends retweet and like. And the stream giveaway is live, 9 p.m. tomorrow. We will be waiting for everyone to get in there before we do the giveaway. So please hit that up. The Snow Show. Brandino, did I miss anything?
Yeah. Put on your best Christmas outfit, bro. Because if I show you guys the Christmas outfit, I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to be crazy drunk. And I'm gonna have my Christmas outfit on. I'm gonna be giving stuff away as usual. I'll probably get in my feels as usual. but make sure you're there. Put on your Christmas outfits. Maybe like tweet at us what you're wearing. Like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Plus, Brandino, if he just tries to put a stocking on his head, he can probably cover his whole body. So
facts, bro. You ever been inside before? That's how you get the early present.
That's so true. But yes, please check us out tomorrow, everybody. It's going to be a good time. We have a lot of races. It's a competition. We race classes 3 to 5. We have a lot of fun. And we're building out a tournament that will be live every single Wednesday. So please check us out. Show some love for Silver Knight PCs. They showed us a lot of love starting off as new streamers. They're a very close friend of mine. And they're looking to get into the gaming space and to help producing custom builds. They can design your PFP, your Bored Ape, or whatever you got. Your Zed Run horse, they can do a Zed custom build. And I'm just saying, if this goes really well, who knows? There could be some really cool things coming out for our Smoke Show tournament that we're going to be having in January. We really want to show these guys a lot of love. And I know our community is great, and I'd love for them to join it. And they want a horse. I'm getting him one for Christmas. To give back to him for this giveaway. So please show some love to Silver Knight PCs. Hit that retweet, like, tag some friends, and let's drink some eggnog tomorrow on the Smoke Show. I'll be back in my home.
Oh, boy.
I'll be
Let's
back home. So
go. And definitely give
I'm not
Metaverse
gonna
Gaming a
lie.
follow. Sorry, go ahead, Brandino.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been racing this whole time.
Uh-oh.
I got a horse named Thick Fire. The second and the first place already.
Uh-oh.
In short distance. I think I nailed it right out the but its name is Thick Fire. Inspiration of Dan Chan.
oh, is it a Blood Tool horse? Is it a Blood Tool horse?
Yes. Yes, it
It's a Blood Tool horse, everybody.
All right,
We
let's
might
go.
We might have hit one on the Blood Tool. I'm telling you, man. Oh, I love using it. That's cool. That's cool.
How many C's are in that thick, Brandino?
It's
3.
Always 3. There's no other way to say 3 or thick than without 3 C's, you know?
I love it. I love it. I'll have to
Only
check
way.
that horse out. Please give Metaverse Gaming a follow on Twitch, on Twitter. Again, I'm going to throw this link in here with the photo so you can see how beautiful this EVGA RGB Z20 linear switch keyboard is. That's a lot of things to say at once. And again, follow Silver Knight PCs, like, retweet, tag 2 friends, follow Metaverse Gaming. Check it out tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time. For those of you that maybe wanted a horse evaluated, didn't get to it yet, Mikma Stables, I see you put a horse in there. I will send you a DM personally reviewing that horse. Please feel free to send me a DM anytime, Twitch, Twitter, or Discord. My socials are down at the bottom of the screen. Definitely reach out, and I'd be more than happy to evaluate. We will be back next week with episode... Oh, we might be back next week. Might not be back. We'll talk about that with the holiday. But we'll be back. Week 3 will be next, and we'll be running 16 and 1800s. Look out for the Artful Diddy. We'll see what happens in week 2 going into week 3. Thank you all so much. Anything else you guys want to say before we sign off?
No, thank you for having us here. Can't wait to do it. Artful Diddy is going at 1,800 meters this next week. I'm really excited to see that variance roll on that horse. I think it might be profitable, which would be so insane. Pretty stoked. Brandino, off to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. I know it's a little early, but I get a little hype for the holidays. Gonna be a good, fun couple days coming up. I'll see you on the snow show tomorrow. And I'm also hyped for the Artful Diddy as well as the 3rd episode of Zero to Heroes. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy holidays. Whatever you are celebrating, happy New Year if I don't see you beforehand. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.